In this video, I'll be talking about 9-5, which deals with common and least common multiples. Before we can talk about common and least common multiples, we need to discuss what a multiple is. Multiples are like the opposites of factors. Factors are how we can break up a number, but multiples are how we make a number bigger. A multiple of a number are numbers like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. When we skip count, that is finding the multiples of a number. So, for example, let's find the multiples of 2. Multiples would be listing out all of the ways that you can multiply 2 by any number to get a multiple of it, a bigger number. So, 2 times 1 is 2. The first multiple is always itself because 2 times 1 is 2. Now, 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3, 6. 2 times 4, 8. So as I multiply, that's why it's called multiple, my number by bigger and bigger whole numbers, I get all of its multiples. In order to find the least common multiple of a pair of multiples like 6 and 8, we need to first discuss what are some of the multiples of 6 and what are some of the multiples of 8. So this is my strategy when I have a problem like this. I make an M for multiple. On one side goes your first number, like 6, and over here goes your second number, 8. Down each side of the M, I'm going to write out the first maybe 5 or so multiples of each number until you find a multiple that they have in common. So I'm going to just write out some multiples of 6. The first multiple of a number is always itself, because 6 times 1 is 6, 6 times 2 is 12, then I have 18, 24, 6 times 5 is 30, 36. I'll stop there because I've run out of room. Now I'll work on 8. The first multiple of 8 is 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Common multiples are any multiples that two numbers have in common. So we're going to go through and circle any numbers that appear over here and over here. So first I'll circle 24. They both don't have 30. They both don't have 36. So out of these numbers that I've written, the only common multiple they have is 24. If I kept going with multiples of 6 and 8, I would come up with more ones that they have in common. But because it says the least common multiple, I'm trying to find the smallest common multiple. So in this case, the smallest number that they have in common is 24. Let's try again with a different set of numbers. If I had 2 and 12, I'm going to use my M to help me find multiples of 2 and 12. Then I'll find ones they have in common, and then I can focus on the least or the smallest common multiple. So some multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. I'm going to keep going, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26. Since 2 is such a small number, I kept going. Here are some multiples of 12. 12, remember the first one is always itself, 24, 36, 48, 60, 72. I'll stop there. If you're having a hard time coming up with the multiples, remember this is just 12 times 1, 12 times 2, 12 times 3, or you can think about it like skip counting. What you could also do is once you have your first few multiples, then I could just add on like 24 plus 12 to get my next one, 36. Then 36 plus 12 to get the next one, 48. So, now that I have some multiples written down, let's find the common multiples and then we'll talk about which one is the least common multiple. I'm going to start over here on this side. I do see that both have 12. Both have 24. I didn't keep going, so it didn't have 36 over here, but it would because 2 can go into 36, meaning 36 is a multiple of 2. But the least, or the smallest common multiple that I've circled, is 12. And even though 12 is one of the numbers, that's okay for it to also be the least common multiple. This question says, which of the pairs have an LCM of 24? LCM stands for least common multiple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and find the least common multiple of all three of these. So for 3 and 9, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 9, 9, 18, 27, 36. The smallest number that they have in common here is 9. Okay, let's look at the next one because it's not the first one. That first one's LCM is 9. Let's look at 6 and 8. I have 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36. I need to make my M a little bigger. I have 8, 16, 24, 32, 40, 48. Okay, let's see. Let's circle any numbers that they have in common. And actually, all I see is 24, and that is the smallest or the least common multiple. So it looks like it's this one. I'm going to check and make sure it's not this last answer, though, just to be sure. That's a good test-taking strategy. Multiples of 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, 48. Let's circle what they have in common. All I see is 12, so their least common multiple is 12. So I'm correct in saying that one is not right, and the pair that has an LCM of 24 is 6 and 8. This is the last question we're going to discuss. I want to discuss a word problem with you because least common multiples can be phrased in word problems. This one says, hot dogs come in packages of 6 and buns come in packages of 4. Don't you hate when they make foods that go together come in different size packages? It says, what's the least amount of each that you could buy to have the same amount of each? Well, that's kind of tricky, but what they're asking is, what's the least amount of packages I could buy so that I have the same amount of hot dogs and the same amount of hot dog buns? Because I want every hot dog to have a hot dog bun. So I need to buy more than one package, because if I just buy one package, I have 6 hot dogs, and then I only have 4 buns. So I need to buy more than one package. So what you could do, if you're kind of confused, draw yourself a picture. Basically what they're asking is about the least common multiples. So if these are my hot dogs over here on the left and my buns are on the right, if I buy one package of each, I have 6 hot dogs, 4 buns. Okay, let's see. If I bought another package of hot dogs, I'd have 12 hot dogs. So this is 1 pack, this is 2 packs. And I'd have 4 plus 4 is 8. If I bought another package of each, I would have 12 plus 6. So this is 3 packages, would be 18 hot dogs and 12 hot dog buns. Well, that doesn't work, but look what I discovered. If I buy 2 packages of hot dogs and 3 packages of hot dog buns, I have 12. So the least amount that I could buy where I have the same of hot dogs and the same amount of buns is 12. You could say 12 as your answer, or you could also word it as 2 packs of hot dogs, I'll abbreviate that HD, and 3 packs of buns. So the number of packages doesn't have to be the same, right? But the number of individual hot dogs and buns has to be the same. So sometimes when you go to the store and if you're having a barbecue or something like that, you have to buy more packages of buns and hot dogs or whatever it might be to have the same amount of each of them. I want you to try this one on your own. I want you to find the least common multiple of 8 and 20. Write it down on your piece of paper. Maybe draw out your M with your 8 and your 20. Your LCM goes down here at the tip of the M. And write your multiples down the sides. This is how you could show your work. You need to have your work and your answer on the blue sheet and bring it with you tomorrow. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.